players probably don't want you to, so pretty damn good first half. I didn't think it was elite. If Kohler makes some layups, he has the best half of anybody's had here ever, probably 20 and 11. And I didn't think I just think we're missing layups, and it's starting to bother me. But we had a good first half. In the second half, I guess we didn't learn from the San Jose State game. We just didn't take care of the ball. 15 turnovers, 9 in the second half. After shooting the ball pretty well early, Jeremy missed those 4 in a row, and they were all good shots. So I don't have a problem with that. I didn't think our bigs, as much as they did, 13 rebounds, 9 rebounds. I just didn't think offensively they did the things they got to do, and too many missed layups. I mean, it's mind-boggling for me right now. But take the win. Out-rebounding them by 30 is big. I thought Todd's team did not play very well early, but give them credit being down like that. They bounced back and played really well. And Sonny Wilson, who came from Cassius' school, we recruited Sonny. We looked at Sonny. You do what you normally do. You see all the things that he can't do instead of most of the things that he can do. And I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he did things under control. I thought he played really well. And I was disappointed how we guarded on some of that. But all in all, when you're up 25, 30 points, it takes a real self-driven human being to stay focused on the task at hand and realize you're playing to make yourself better and you're playing for games down the road. We still showed some immaturity that we did not do that, and we got to get better at it. So that's what we'll get to work on the next couple days and see if we can do a better job, because Oakland is, we've never had an easy time with them. And but give Toledo credit. They turned the ball over 4 times all night. Nice job on that. They shot well from the 3. I did a good job on that. They didn't quit when they could have quit, and I think they did a hell of a job on that. So I do want to thank our crowd. Early game, I was a little worried, and boy, when you look up and the corners were getting filled up, that speaks volume about our program and about our athletic department and about our people in it and about our fans. So thank you, fans. You did a better job the second half than we did. Questions?
Tom, over here on your left. I was wondering what you thought of, obviously you've talked a lot about shooting guard stuff, but Kerr hitting 4 threes, what do you thought, just the confidence that brings, and then also what you're looking for him on the other side of the floor defensively, what you saw tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Kerr played better. I mean, we kind of lost Divine tonight. Like I said, it's a musical chair thing, but Kerr played better. Jeremy got him the ball at the right time in the right place. I thought we did a very good job. He was ready to shoot, made some big-time shots. And so that was a plus. Divine, we just got to get a little more out of him. I still want to get a little more out of Cohen. But, as good as our bigs played, there's still a lot of room for improvement on layups and most moves. But I was pleased with Kerr, and I think he did some really good things, and he made some shots. His defense is getting better.
I wanted to ask you about the layups. When you look back at the last 2 games, was there
three games? Don't.
Well, not counting tonight. Even before, so not counting tonight. I'm talking about when you looked at the tape of those 2 games. Was there something?
Yeah, I think some of our guys are.
Teams just getting more physical with those guys down there, or is it just them?
Yeah. Probably because that's a scouting report. But we're not using the backboard. We're not. You get bumped down there, and Jackson on that one, he missed 2 in a row that were point blank, and nobody's trying to miss those, but those do get depressing. So it's been 3 games that I'd say, there's no doubt in the Duke game it cost us, and these 2 games it almost cost us at Penn State, and it didn't cost us tonight, but that'll be a good film session tonight for me, is go back in the last 3 games and really view all the layups we missed and show them, because kids nowadays, they need the visual, you know what I mean? They don't need the word of mouth, they need the visual. You're going to get the visual.
You mentioned about, I think in pregame you mentioned about Cohen saying he felt a little worn down. I'm wondering, just as a group right now at this point with the high-level games that you played early in the season, if this next few weeks of having less games and more time to work on yourself is a good thing.
Yeah, the problem is, like I wanted to do a lot more when we came back from Penn State, but get back and you got Sunday, and then Monday's the day before a game. And so I got assistants that are getting softer than I am, and, we got to make sure. You know what? We have nobody that played that many minutes. And maybe they should get rest at night, and they should worry about, let me do my job, you do your job. And your job is to prepare and get better at the things you're not better at. And this is the time of year when you normally get a lot better. The problem is, as we all know, you don't have as much time as you used to, because we got a game in a couple days, and then we're off for a week. Then you come back, and then once the Big Ten starts, now it's just constant. So if they're tired, you know what? Maybe I'll give them Christmas off.
Tom, you've said the margin of error with this team is really slim. What's the message after the game to your team when you have a great first half and then a not so great second?
Well, my message was that the coaches and myself got to do a better job at halftime, but the captain's got to do a better job. I mean, players play the game, and I'm one that I'll take the blame for anything. I took the blame on the Duke game on some zone stuff, and as you saw tonight, we attack in a zone a lot better just because we worked on it, and that's all falls on me. So I took the blame. They got to man up and take the blame for what they don't do. So captain's got to get together and figure out, why are we letting these games slip away? Not that it's slipped away, I mean, I know there's a human element, and every mother will say, well, we're 30 up, coach. You're never satisfied. They're right. I'm not. Because I'm looking to play for games way beyond the game we just played. And that's where this program is. I don't need to win games. I need to win games and improve. And if you're not improving and winning games, then eventually it's going to catch up with you. So, I told them I'm proud of the rebounding, but, some of the rebounding, you get 18 offensive boards. You know why? You miss about 15 layups and the ball comes back to you. So that's a little distorted stat for me right now. And, I didn't think we got to the line enough. I didn't think we were strong enough in there with the ball. We had a lot of balls. I mean, when you have Cohen get 4 turnovers, Coop get 3 turnovers, Jackson had 1, Jesse had 2. Our big guys are turning the ball over because they're getting it knocked out of their hands, which means they got to get tougher and stronger.
Tom, Todd was up here talking about how hard it is to schedule a high major game at his level when he's proven to win at the MAC level, and I think he said like 4th in wins over the past 3 seasons. But I'm wondering, as sort of a steward of the coaching profession, the duty, I guess, of a high major coach to schedule those kinds of games and how that plays into the factor of building out a schedule.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like what's happening in college football. I mean, we still have this dumb, I don't know what it is. Is it Ken Palm or one of those? So he'll be mad at me. But where you get points for how much you beat a team by and all these stat things, I'm still mad at what I was maddest at my team after is those 2 twins and Sanders. They deserve to play 4 minutes. What they've done for us on a scout team. But, people don't want you to do that. So I do think there's an obligation of us to give a kid a chance. I mean, Wilson, as good as he played, he showed a lot of people that he can play at a lot of places because he single-handedly kicked our butt tonight. And I'm happy he's there. I think Todd does a hell of a job with his offense. I think they've got to keep improving defense and rebounding. I was a little disappointed for him since he's a friend of mine, and twice we almost hired him as a GA here back in the day, and so I have a great respect for him. But I didn't think his bigs, did enough. They were playing really good, and I don't think it was all us. I think it was some of them. But he's it's great to give those guys an opportunity, just like it's really good for us to give the Division II, being a Division II guy, but those days are now over because we have to do other things, It's going to be interesting in football and basketball when you saw what happened in the college football, that everybody's going to be scheduling differently, and some teams are scheduling all home games, and you're not going to be able to do that anymore, and which is good. I mean, I think it's good, but yeah, if I was at their level, it's an honor to play those schools because those kids deserve a chance, those coaches, and that's why I was so impressed with our crowd. They got to play in front of, probably wasn't packed, but it was damn good, and I'm happy for them for that.
Tom, two things. Turnovers, you were minus 11, and Cohen had as many as their entire team. Were they elite at protecting the ball, or did you guys not get the deflections and the knockaways you were looking for?
Well, let me ask a dumb question here. What did you think? I mean, there was a ball on the ground in front of me at my table that Jeremy was in the backcourt, and he was yelling at Kerr to get it. And when you have time to yell at a guy to go get it, it probably means he isn't reacting very good. So, I was disappointed in that with us. And yet, listen, I can't say that. I always want to say when I played, but we never had that big a lead at Northern Michigan. In fact, usually we had the opposite. So, I don't know what it's like to be a player out there, but I know this. If those captains do a good enough job, they've all been through the wars. They've lost some tough games in the NCAA tournament. They've won some tough games. They should know that we have bigger fish to fry and that we have to improve if we're going to be a real contender or a pretender. And this is when you work on it right now. Right now is when you got to make some of those decisions, and I didn't think we decided on that. I thought they were scrappier than we were. I thought we were not as smart as they were. We put the ball on the floor. We're spin dribbling in the middle of the lane. I mean, those things are unexcusable, and I didn't like it.
Also, Jesse didn't miss a shot, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. In less than 14 minutes. Is the game starting to slow down for him?
Yeah, I think Jesse was one of the guys we really talked about in the pregame. He was very efficient, and that's kind of what you want. He had a couple blocks also that they have him down from. 3. He had some good rebounds. Took his time most of the time in there, but getting that many rebounds, 8 rebounds is pretty good. So I thought he's making some progress. We got to get Cam back to where he was before he got hurt. He took a little bit of a step, got 6 rebounds tonight, but we need Cam too because he's so athletic and we need that in our lineup. So I don't know, maybe Jackson and Coop are playing too many minutes. We'll figure that out. But we got a little tired there. That one stretch in the first half went like 11 minutes without hardly a stop, and we couldn't get Jackson out. I think that sometimes if the tank goes dry, it's hard to replenish it. He didn't seem the same after that, so maybe that's our fault.
Time for a couple more starting here.
Coach in the back, just wondering, as the holiday nears and you guys have the game Saturday and you guys got about a week or so off, what's the message to the guys where with the holiday coming and distractions might be growing a little bit for them? What's the message to stay locked in, so to speak, but also enjoy the time, with the family and everything?
That's the one good thing about Twitter. It really is the one good thing about Twitter. There's only one good thing, but that is the one good thing. There are so many distractions throughout the year. Christmas is no big deal. Christmas, we'll get through it. I mean, Christmas is important, but Christmas, compared to the other distractions they got, I walk in the other day and my staff is saying that it's an epidemic on Twitter about the missed layups we have, They said the guys are reading that. commenting on it. So I would say this to our own fans. We're working on stuff. You have the right to do whatever you want, but it's your team too. And if you think these kids can handle all the distractions, what's my double Ds? Distractions and dirtbags. There's a lot of those out there. Christmas isn't one of them. In the good old days, it used to be, Judd would give the speech about it's finals week, and that usually went up to the 21st, and you had one game, and then you all went home, and he always gave the lecture about finals week, make sure you finish. Then the game, make sure you finish. Then when you go home, make sure you're not shoplifting. Those were the three things that Judd, remember athletes, it was all the time, it was an epidemic, although now most of them can buy the store, so it's not as big a deal, So there's been some things that have worked out better because of Twitter and because of the NIL, and there's some things that work out worse, but I'm not worried about the distractions of Christmas. That's why we scheduled like we did. So we're off on the 20th because I think it is important they get home, get to spend some time with their family. We used to go to the 22nd, then you get home and you got 2 days. So I think they realize we've talked to them about it all year. We're going to give you the time to be off. Make sure you don't take it off before it starts. And thanks to Twitter, I think they're usually understand how many distractions there are, that poor Christmas isn't one of them.
All right, we'll go Jacob and Chris to wrap.
He gets nervous when I get on a rampage, and so I hope I don't get condemned by people for saying Christmas is very important to me, very important to my players, but not the distraction of it.
The move with Divine to the 2, you've seen some more meaningful minutes for Denham. How would you, evaluate his play over this game and the past game?
Denham deserves some. Because he's Doug's kid. We just want some stability there, and it was getting hard. Denham. The one thing are 3 guards. Those 3 guards, they're not very vocal people. Jeremy is, but the other 3 guys aren't very vocal at all. So it's hard to be a quarterback if you go into a huddle and you can't call a play. And so that was when we decided that, we're going to plan more to 2, take some of that pressure off them. And if we got a guy that comes in, that's good. And so Denham comes in there and runs the show for a little bit. And now we got to get Divine, we got to get Kerr, and I think we're doing a decent job of getting Jordan more time, backing up Cohen, and we get a little rotation, and that's what this break is for. We talked about it. Doug and I sat down like old times and went over the rotation the best we could. Did a decent job of it today, but not great. And, as happened last year, once Christmas comes, maybe that playing group's going to shrink a little bit, and that's not going to be determined by me. That's going to be determined by them.
You mentioned about the Twins and the Sanders. I don't know how much, and we haven't seen them shoot like that outside, but back-to-back threes, I would think that's a program first by Twins.
You know what? You guys don't? Because you guys are getting soft. I open practice up. You guys come at the end of practice. You don't watch it. You just come to practice. Those guys have been so damn good that, they were going to go to Central Michigan to just be a student. And I called them and said, that's crazy. You guys are 2 good athletes. You're great students. Why don't you come here and walk on, and maybe in a year or 2 we'll see if we can help you, whether you're good enough to play here. When you think of guys like Kobe Williman, I started him against Duke. Those kids, if you came and watched the practice, watched it instead of sitting up there on your phones and everything, no insult, but it's truth. Those guys can really shoot the ball, and they're tougher than some of my guys. And Brennan, I think it was, I still have trouble. I'm going to put a dot on one of their heads so I know who's who, because they are really identical, in my humble opinion. Probably not his parents, but Brennan's been sick. He didn't even practice till today was his first practice. He went out there and knocked one in, but they're really, really, really good on our scout team, and so is Sanders. And that might not be as important to you guys, but it really is to me. So if there's one more, I'll take it. If not, I get out of your hair.